is supposed to be one, he can just take this space as his office and doesn't have any other office in another place. Am I being understood?
Yeah.
So that's the
I just wanted to add something. I think why the share value was put as low as 2.78, it was with the idea that they should involve as much community members as possible.
That's what I'm saying. The community membership to participate, members of the community to participate and say, we own this bank. That the traditional ruler is not the owner of this bank. So that the town union president is not the owner of this bank. Because these are the two lights they have. These two men are the people who started the project, and they galvanized their people. They were able to mobilize their people to buy into the idea.
True. So at the beginning, the idea was not to raise as much money as the bank, but it was to bring everyone in the community
on board.
Now, the value of the naira for him is a bit abstract. So he wants to have an idea of the purchasing power of, let's say, 50 naira. That's what I was trying to do.
No, but I've explained that to enable the whole members of the community, no matter how your level of poverty is, you are part of the ownership of that bank.
This guy is going to French. That's
Then evaluation. The bank was commissioned in November of 1991 by the National Board for Community Banks. Then it was the regulatory body that was in charge of regulating the establishment and running of community banks in Nigeria. They started with 6 staff. The project demonstrated the desire and will of the people to achieve development on their own effort without government aid. Today, the bank has been recapitalized because in 2005, the CBN governor made it mandatory that all community banks that want to convert to microfinance banks should raise a minimum of 20 million. So this bank has not only raised it, is now a full licensed microfinance bank. In fact, while I was still here, the manager of the bank sent me a text telling me that they have received their final license. And as at the time I collected information from the management of the bank, their assets has moved from 300,000 in 1990 to about 60 million. And not only that, within the space of 1991 and 2007-2008, that local area was made a local government headquarters. And this bank is now the only bank that is responsible for running the banking business of the local government. See how the leadership has been able to link up the community to the government, and government's attention has gone to them and they are benefiting from it. So if you read back my analogy on the paper and this example, you can see some semblance of good leadership, trust, confidence of the people, participation. And that is why the bank has survived up to this moment. And many of its content, in fact, the one in my own community died along the line. Why? The chairman of the bank, per se, happened to be somebody who said he can pull the community along. He brought his money, he did everything. The bank ran for, say, 4 or 5 years. And one day people went there, they didn't see anybody there to transact business with again. And that means that the bank has closed shops. Because he brought his money, he lived in Lagos, he happened to be a very big businessman. So he brought his money, hired an apartment in our local government headquarters, put infrastructure, put everything, hired his staff, called the then governor there. That was in 93, sorry. And they opened the gates for him. But unfortunately, the people refused to patronize it. That was the center of his problem. So he did everything, campaign, moved from church to church, from village to village, from town union to town union to patronize the bank. But unfortunately, people said they weren't brought into the picture, and as such. As I'm talking to you today, there's no single bank in my local government. And this could have been a bank that could have reaped the dividends of the whole local government now having a bank. So this is the story I have for you today. So if you have more questions or comments or whatever you want to say,